What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast, episode number 210. I'm Jeff James, as always with me, the incredible, unobtainable, luscious Brody Fultz. How are you, my friend?
Busy. Very, very busy. For those of you that are watching us live, sorry we're a little bit late because my son had a baseball game and it went into overtime, and I'm here now.
And that's okay, because the Leafs are playing.
I'm here now.
So I get to stay up and watch the Leafs play. Let's go, baby. Tavares got hit. I thought he died. Oh, my God. It was terrifying. I hope he's okay. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to beat the Montreal Canadiens. It's going to be great. So,
nice.
It's be a bunch of shit talking on Twitter for the next, 2 weeks.
Well, yeah. On Canadian Twitter. It's different than normal Twitter.
It is. There's a little bit of politeness, but then there's some, sprinkle of shit talk in between all of it.
Politely go fuck yourself, bud.
Exactly. Can you politely fuck off? Anyways, guys, if you're new to the show, every single week we discuss gaming news from around the world and the interwebs, and bring it to your ears on every major podcast platform and your eyes on YouTube. You can catch us live every Thursday evening around 9:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, and you can get the audio version of the podcast every Friday morning at the butt crack of dawn for your morning commute, because we're getting back to normal life now. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Stoked for it.
It's amazing.
Beyond that, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Jeff James here, and you can follow Brody at
Brody Fultz. B-R-O-D-Y.
It's just the man's name. There's nothing clever to it.
Nope.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to our podcast and also to our YouTube channel. Check out, we got a new video that went up about us playing baseball. Me playing baseball poorly.
Yeah.
Not my game.
That's the way it goes.
Clearly not my game.
I won, but I didn't play well either. So it is what it is.
Still beat me. That's how it works. But anyways, what have you been up to? What have you been playing?
This week's been weird, but Monster Hunter Rise is about all I've really touched in the past week. I guess I did play. I played a little bit of Fortnite, unfortunately. Because that's coming to a close, and I play it with my kids, and I got to finish up the battle pass and get my money back so I can buy the next one. So yeah, a little bit of Fortnite, but mainly just still ripping some Monster Hunter Rise.
Sweet.
God, I love that game. How about you?
I played a little bit of NASCAR Heat 4. Huge gamer here. Some God of War, and I dabbled into some Link's Awakening. So just little stuff here and there.
So Link's Awakening is my copy of Link's Awakening.
Yeah. We trade games.
And I have yet to even start Paper Mario yet.
I mean, you're deep into Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, it seems like I'm always deep into something and I never actually make it back to Paper Mario. One day I will start it and then hopefully get hooked and just power through it. But
yeah, no, I mean, one day you'll make it. One day you'll get it. One day it'll make sense and you'll be able to sit down for 2 hours and play. Actually, it's a long ass game. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's very long.
Moving on, do you want to hit us with the upcoming game releases before we jump on into the juicy news?
Yeah, so Rust is coming to PS4 and Xbox One, Miitopia is coming to Switch, and Knockout City is releasing on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch. On May 25th, an airport for aliens currently run by dogs is coming to PC and Xbox Series X. Biomutant is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox. Capcom Arcade Stadium is coming to PC.
My attention.
Yeah. And weird names like that just kind of do
also thematic things. I mean, we had zombie era, right, of video games. Yeah. With all this shit coming out about, aliens and stuff and whether they exist or not. You think we're just going to see a bunch of alien video games and alien movies and shit? Like, we're going to get that into pop culture now?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think alien games...
My theory on all these unidentified flying objects?
Yeah.
The Italians.
Okay. Yeah. An airport for aliens currently
run by dogs.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's something else.
I will say I am quite interested in Biomutant. I am going to wait for reviews to come out because what I have seen of this game, it looks pretty cool, but they just released a combat video today that made me a little concerned. It looked the combat didn't, I don't know, it looked kind of not stilted, but stagnant. It was
Huh.
odd. Something about it just felt weird. It was very stiff, and then at sometimes like I'm not sure how to explain what I saw, but it still looked good, but it was something about it didn't quite seem right. So I'm waiting to see some reviews, and that's a game that I'm kind of excited for. And it's weird to see games like heavily releasing on Tuesdays again, because
I
lately they've
know.
been on
It
Fridays.
is, isn't it? It's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
it's very bizarre. But other than that, the Very Very Valet looks pretty cool too. That was one we saw during a Nintendo Switch showcase deal that I was actually pretty interested in. It looks like
Phew,
you're
holy shit. That's the first time I've
Holy
ever
crap.
sneezed on stream and on podcast.
oh boy.
Oh my god. I tried, so I was in the middle of adjusting my brightness on my screen so I don't look like Casper, the somewhat tanned ghost. And I'm like, oh boy, all right, this is going to happen. I mean, 209 episodes, and that's first time. That's not bad, right?
Wondering, yeah, this is our 210th episode, and I mean, first time. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, that Very Very Valet looks pretty cool too. It looks like a party game,
Yeah.
Overwatch style.
I really like the idea of that stuff. I mean, all those kinds of that style of game is awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, just
I love them.
craziness.
Fantastic.
onto some news. We got the official release date for GTA 5. So the official release date for this to come to Xbox Series X/S and PS5 is going to be November 11th, 2020. Are you wondering because the Discord just popped up that we're live for some reason?
Yeah, I was
So
just
evidently YouTube's just having problems tonight. I looked it up.
fantastic.
That's great. But anyways, yeah. So November 11th, 2021. Good Lord, not 2020. Is when we're going to be getting GTA 5 on the Series X and S, as well as the PS5. So
Nice.
it's going to print money, and this will be the third generation
Which is insane.
that the game goes to.
Yeah, I thought this game was gonna come out earlier.
Me too. I mean,
Which I think was kind of the way it was marketed was essentially that it was gonna be here like shortly after launch of the new consoles.
yeah.
And I think I vaguely remember when it did get delayed, but not well enough to really apparently put it together. But yeah, November 11th, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not
For
going to
the-
get...
I mean, we're only
Grand
a
Theft
couple
Auto
of
at
console
all next year.
generation. Yeah, I mean, now it has been on as many consoles as Skyrim has, except for Switch. It's not on Switch, so I take that back.
Watch it
But
somehow come to Switch. Oh my god,
that would be impressive.
it would be highly impressive. But what's
That would have to be a panic button port for sure. I mean,
No.
those guys are wizards over there.
absolutely it would have to be that.
Just incredible. So we have some Xbox Live Gold free play days. So Xbox users get the chance to play Gears 5 and F1 2020 for free until May 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, and this will also be accompanied by a sale with Gears 5 standard copy being reduced to $16 and F1 2020 getting a drop to $15 as well.
Pretty decent deal, man. I mean, like that's
Yeah.
pretty solid. I mean, two solid games to try out. I'm not a huge like F1 fan myself. There's also some later on news about F1 2021 specifically that we'll get into in terms of what EA is doing there with pricing and stuff. But yeah, this is cool. This is pretty neat. I mean, I can't believe Gears 5 is already only going to be like $16. I hope it runs.
Now. Yeah, we did have issues with that. I would assume
Need a
that's been
lot.
fixed by now, but I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know for sure. Cool.
When did Gears 5 launch anyway? Gears
Yeah, you go to the
5.
Googlies. You go to the Googlies. I'm gonna continue on here. We got.
I got it September 6th, 2019.
Oh
So it's
shit.
been out for 2 years now.
Okay. Wow.
Eh,
Last of Us Part 2 got a 60 frames per second patch for the PS4 version of the game, playable on PS5. So Sony announced through a tweet today that The Last of Us Part 2 is now playable at 60 frames per second for the PS4 version of the game. So that's a good time. It's good. Evan loves that game. He thinks that it should only win every award possible. But you and I are both kind of like, well, it's kind of good. It's cool. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm not a Last of Us fan personally, but I think they're very well made games, and a lot of people love them dearly. It's just not something that has grabbed my attention because the zombie setting thing is not my deal. But cool. It's cool to see a lot of these games getting these patches that are not really patches, but I mean kind of patches that are bumping these games up and making them just that much better.
Yeah.
So Xbox announced new accessibility settings. In a blog post on Xbox Wire, director of Xbox Accessibility Anita Mortallone announced a new program called the Xbox Accessibility Insider League, or AXLE. This program is available to anyone with a disability and allows them to give accessibility feedback directly to both the Xbox engineering team as well as game developers. The Xbox customer support page has been refreshed as well, making it easier to find the disability answer desk than before. Some other initiatives include a gaming and disability player experience guide, which gives game developers tools and areas to consider while designing their games. Accessibility guidelines have been updated as well, with more guidance on things like screen narration, difficulty UI, and captions. In the feature, there will also be party chat options for both speech-to-text conversation as well as text-to-speech. Some of Microsoft's first-party games are getting more accessibility features too. Gears 5's navigation ping will let players with little or no vision make their way through areas using audio cues, which is incredible.
It's crazy, yeah.
And there are also options to disable camera shake or enable target lock. For Minecraft, the achievement screen has been redesigned to make it easier to navigate and read or have narrated, as well as offering more granular audio control. Or patterns have also been adjusted to make them more distinct, which is helpful for players having trouble with differentiating colors. And just my personal experience with Minecraft, it's kind of difficult anyway until you get like really used to what everything is.
Yeah, it is.
And
it
there's
is.
so much.
Can you imagine being colorblind or
dirt.
having just issues, seeing things on a smaller level? I mean, good lord,
that's insane. Yeah, I look at it and I'm like, that's dirt. Oh no, that's not dirt. That's a different
dirt.
color dirt. That's something different dirt. But this is cool. I mean, Xbox has really been killing it in this specific area, especially the accessibility and their accessibility controller that they released, and just all of the different things that they've done in this realm of gaming has been fantastic. And I mean, neither Jeff or I are disabled, but I can only imagine that this is a godsend for people that have struggled to play certain games and things in the past.
Yeah.
And this is just really cool to see from them.
Yeah, it is neat. I like how they're going to give the developers a lot of abilities and kind of like a rundown of how to do things and guides and being able to guide them with the accessibility. Obviously, what it was like 2-3 years ago, we saw the accessibility controller.
Yeah.
And that was a huge it was like 2 or 3 or whatever, something like that. And that's a huge thing. But to have like audio cues where you go through stuff for people who are impaired vision, and you also have the camera shake. I mean, that's half of Gears. I mean, good God, to be honest with you, I play it and the whole thing's like shaking about. I'm like, good Lord, I can't see a damn thing.
I would like that personally for myself, yes.
But yeah, great.
That camera shake's violent.
Great move here. I'd like to see Sony do more of this as well. I think it's important. But also, like, to be honest with you and to be fair, like, Xbox being part of Microsoft, Microsoft has a lot of ease of access and accessibility stuff that they've done with Windows already. And so it really, that obviously helps them a ton, right?
And a lot of... And the good thing too is Xbox is offering this to developers, so I imagine we will see some more accessibility options on games that are multi-platform.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the PlayStation, I believe Last of Us Part 2 was actually up for a potential accessibility award at the Game Awards last year.
Yep.
So a lot of their first-party studios are already pretty good about it. I believe Ratchet and Clank is supposed to have quite a bit of accessibility options as well, which, I mean, it seems like that's going to have a lot of colors and a lot of things going on, so rightfully so. But this is awesome. I mean, to to extend a hand out to disabled gamers and stuff, and just give them more options is always fantastic.
Yeah. Moving on, we got a overview trailer, or what's being called an overview trailer for Mario Golf Super Rush. So you and I are both excited about this game. I mean, we're stoked, especially for the party kind of mode where it's like golf rushing, and you just speed golf as quick as you can, finish the hole. So new trailers released by Nintendo on Tuesday, and it showed off different maps, mechanics, characters, and game modes. Some of the maps are like classic, kind of golf course looking. Other ones are like real party mode. Like there's like a Bowser's Castle kind of map where there's like lava, and then like bits of the map get sink into the lava and then come back up. So there's some cool stuff there with it, and the mechanics are great. The game looks fun as hell. If you want to play like I wouldn't call it professional golf game, but if you want to play like somewhat of normal golf, you can do that. If you want to play somewhat of a party mode for the golf, you can do that as well as in the game. And I think this thing's gonna be a huge hit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, as long as it's handled better than Aces was, I think this will do exceptionally well for him. I'm really excited for this, and there's even like an RPG mode almost, which looks really cool. I mean, there's so many different ways to play this game, and it looks like it's gonna have a lot of different options. One downside that I did see is that it looked like it wasn't going to have local multiplayer, which I don't know that for a fact, so take it with a grain of salt. But I did hear that as one of the rumors coming about right now, which I think if that is the case, that is a major misstep for this game. So hopefully that's not true, especially in a world where you could even just play, pass the controller for local multiplayer.
Right.
So be it, but it doesn't make any sense to not just use two controllers. So, but yeah, this is a day one purchase for me. I'm definitely going to be picking this up. I do kind of wish they do a demo like they did for Aces, though.
I agree too.
Because,
but last time they did a demo for Aces, people hated it.
This is also true, and
then it hurt sales.
So it makes sense. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm excited for this, especially in the last year or two. I've gotten into golf way more than I ever have been, so I'm actually somewhat involved in this realm now. So,
I think golf has exploded as well, so I think it's a great time for this game to come out. Because there really, I say there really isn't, but there is a lot of party style games where it's golf with friends, and then also that's golf or whatever it was called. What's it? Wii Golf or what? What's the one that's kind of got some Japanese flair to it?
Oh, I don't remember.
So whatever. Anyways, so the next thing that you're about
Golf
to.
Story.
Oh yeah, Golf Story too. Yeah,
That's so good.
Just before you read the next topic, by the way, for the foreign currencies, the R with the dollar sign is the Brazilian real, and then the RPS or the RS, sorry, is rupees.
Okay.
So just so you know, so you're not like, what the hell is that?
Real and rupees.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I would have completely messed that
so
up.
I just wanted. I probably shouldn't have given him that story, but whatever. I decided to anyways.
So EA has removed regional pricing after buying Codemasters. So according to Steam database, F1 2021 is available for pre-order on Steam for reals, 3,499 reals. This is almost 3 times the price of the previous game in the series, which was priced at, we're still in reals. It's throwing me for a loop, and you even explained it to me. 1,299 reals in India. Do they use reals in India too?
No, rupees.
It just okay. Gotcha.
That's fine. We're Americans.
I absolutely fucked it up. Yeah, rupees. The new pricing system seems to bring regional pricing largely in line with the U.S. pricing, which fits the same $59.99 as previous games in the series. The Indian pricing isn't the only one to suffer from EA's policy of not acknowledging regional pricing strategies. In Brazil, for example, F1 2020 was priced at, here's the reals. I got here now, 109.99 reals, which is roughly 1,482 and a quarter rupees, while F1 2021 is priced at more than double that price, which is 249 reals. Good God, which is roughly 3,355 and 55 or 0.58 rupees. This one's a fucking struggle for me, buddy. The most seemingly insane price spike seems to be for Argentina. F1 2020 was priced at Argentinian dollar at 649.99, which is roughly 522.63 rupees, while F1 2021 is priced at Argentinian 3,599.
I hope
Which is
someone watches.
roughly-
I hope someone's gonna listen from India or something. They'll be like, you guys are idiots."
Roughly 2,893.83 rupees, more than 5 times last year's pricing. So basically, the pricing was all fucked up, and now it's going to be centralized and roughly cost what we generally pay here in the U.S., which is like $59.99.
My problem with this is a lot of the articles wrote it in a way as if it was like on purpose, and it definitely wasn't. I think when they just traded accounts, like when you move these things, when you move games to an account like on Steam on the developer side of things, all the shit gets fucked up. I mean, they probably got the Codemasters login and stuff like that, I would presume, but typically you would move everything over to one account as a developer. And then when you do that, your pricing table is all crazy and shit like that. So, but
and I feel like a lot of people that live in other countries actually have U.S. Steam accounts because our restrictions are the most lenient as well.
Yeah, for
sure.
So
they do tend to. I know Australia is a big one where a lot of them have a U.S. account as well, just for games that, for whatever reason, get unlisted or things like that. So, absolutely. This is good, and like Jeff was saying, it's not something that they did on purpose necessarily.
They'll
it's just
try to tell you they did though.
Oh yeah, all the major news outlets are trying to blow them up for it because EA is a big bad corporation, right? But in this case, this is something that gets as that account gets sold over to these other countries. Essentially, it just gets so jacked up with the transfers of money and everything, and it becomes an absolute clusterfuck.
Yes, absolutely.
Meanwhile, Australia still has to use the Australian dollar, which makes things really expensive.
Yeah.
Or at least it sounds really expensive.
But their taxes included in all their stuff.
This is true.
Which is kind of nice. I kind of wish we had
a normal pop game for them is like $100 Australian dollars.
Dude, it's the same in Canada now. It's like $90.
Yeah.
It's 90 Canadian dollars for the thing. So, speaking about restrictions and just weird stuff on platforms, eBay is banning the sale of adult video games starting July. So, online auction site eBay will be implementing a ban on adult video games from July 15th as part of a wider initiative by the marketplace to prohibit the sale of mature content across books, anime, comics, magazines, and art that contains sexually oriented materials.
So just have to go to Etsy then.
Yeah, just have to go for Etsy for all your nudies. This ban will just apply to old copies of Leisure Suite Larry Magnum Cum Laude Uncut PC Edition, but all games with a rating of XXX R18 or unrated for an adults-only audience. eBay explained in a blog post, an adults-only rating is a rare restriction, usually reserved for video games that knowingly push the boundary of good taste, such as infamously violent titles like Hatred and Manhunt 2, which earned adults-only classifications from the Entertainment Software Rating Board, otherwise known as the ESRB. More modern games with adult and violent content, such as Mortal Kombat 11 and Red Dead Redemption 2, have instead received a mature 17 plus rating from the ESRB and will still be allowed on the US version of eBay. That's right. I believe this is only the US side of eBay. I'm assuming they probably got like a bunch of complaints being like, hey, my little son is a shit and he bought Leisure Suite Larry.
Yeah,
off of eBay, off of some guy in Oklahoma, and then, it just shows up one day. So
the fact that Leisure Suit Larry is out on Switch right now is just disturbing.
Yeah, and it's done in a totally different style. That's what
Yeah.
disturbs me more. They did it like the new Battletoads, and that didn't do well at all.
No. Yeah, I mean, this is basically just banning hentai games from eBay. I mean, more or less.
Yeah, I
Have to get it from
good
Steam,
luck.
I guess.
Good luck to the moderation team on stopping anime.
Yeah.
That's that's a war. You want to talk about a battle? Anime fan fiction. That's a battle. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, DeviantArt, anything like in that realm of being. Oh boy.
How about just Sonic fans?
Yeah. I'm going to be real honest. Twitter is quite dangerous anymore too. If you type in the wrong keyword and don't think about it, oh good God.
It's
so bad.
So AMC's been a pretty hot thing, right?
Yeah.
Lately on Twitter, the AMC squeeze, right? And obviously you say you're an ape, right? If you're doing this,
Right.
Someone's taken the liberty to decide to create some sort of ape graphic of another ape to a hedge fund manager within the seat of an AMC theater. And so here's my thing. Here's the problem. It kept hitting my feed. And it didn't even have that many likes. So the algorithm just pushed that to me constantly. I don't know what that says about me. But it kept showing up. It really wasn't that popular, and I saw it like 5 times while trying to scroll.
Oh no!
So, well, it's like when we had the Diggity Instagram, account gets wild on that feed.
Yeah,
I mean, we follow people, and we love following people, but boy, some people post some weird shit. At work. I'm just gonna flat out say it. Some people be posting some weird shit.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a wild internet world out there.
It is. It truly is.
So Overwatch 2 is reducing team sizes to 5v5. Blizzard's Overwatch 2 What's Next stream has revealed a major gameplay change coming to its upcoming hero shooter. Rather than having standard matches played by 6-player teams, Overwatch 2 will shift to 5v5 matches in PvP. The 5v5 structure will consist of 1 tank, 2 support, and 2 DPS players per team. This change could impact original Overwatch 2 since PvP between the 2 games has previously been announced as compatible. I don't think it's an awful move. I think it's an interesting move, and it's going to make the meta for tanks is going to get real jacked up here.
Well, I also thought of the game's going to feel slower.
Yeah.
Maybe not slower. It's not going to be as tense. I mean, obviously, the new maps, they said they were going to create tighter spaces, and there's obviously more stuff going around. There's like little mini bosses as you're going along and other shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, to go from 6 to 5, and the whole time that this has been discussed has been that, it's going to intertwine with the original Overwatch as well. So does that mean original Overwatch is going to go to 5v5 as well? Because that just completely messed up. You imagine the esports teams for Overwatch?
So
that had 6 guys who's getting kicked.
Oh, that's like trying to play
one of the DPS.
Your...
I guess one of the tanks, one of the supports.
Tanks, yeah.
One of the healers.
That's like when you play Warzone and you have to choose who's not in the party because it's only three people teams. Like
someone's getting kicked.
God.
Sorry, Donnie, we got to kick you off the team.
Yeah, you were a great Roadhog, but we need a Reinhardt. So
fucking Jeff Kaplan.
But I mean, essentially, it's gonna boil down to the only 2 people being used is gonna be Orisa and Reinhardt.
Oh my God, Brody.
Yes.
Coincidence? The Overwatch team had 6 people. Jeff Kaplan left. Now there's 5.
It does kind of feel like.
Oh my God, Brody! They kicked their tank. They kicked their tank.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna take the viability of people like Diva and Roadhog even, and some of these other characters.
You're gonna have to completely change the characters.
Yeah. I think this is a weird move that isn't necessary.
I feel like you could have created a secondary mode that was just 5v5 and 6v6, but to make the default 5v5 is kind of dumb. I understand that that's a standard on a lot of stuff. However,
Yeah.
I really thought Overwatch is a great game. I still think it is a great game. I think it's action packed. When you get into big battles, I think it's fantastic. I thought it was fairly balanced. I mean, typically when they had a new character come out and some or a new larger update, I mean, yeah, there'd be some stuff that was just OP, but it would get nerfed pretty quick. But
Yeah.
I mean, this is very very interesting. Maybe this is why Jeff left. Maybe it was just like there's no direction. I mean, we don't know what it is. It's not DLC. It's a full-fledged new game. But then the new maps are tinier, but then it's going to work with the old one. But now you can only play 5v5. You can't play 6v6.
Yeah. I
Confused.
honestly believe that Jeff left because of a lot of the things that we've been hearing about this. I mean, every time we get news about Overwatch 2, it becomes more confusing somehow. Like, they're explaining more to us, and it makes less sense because of things like this, where it's like, hey, this is supposed to work with Overwatch 1, but we're changing team sizes, but we also don't know for a fact if it's going to change in Overwatch 1, so there's that.
I'm still incredibly confused. I enjoy it because I love my home city, but that there's a map of Toronto. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't get
Yeah.
it. I know Farah is Canadian and she somehow fits into that stuff with Toronto, but also the Toronto map's in winter. Why would you do that? Why would you? Same weather as Chicago.
Yeah.
Why? Stop the stereotyping.
I also find it rather confusing that
As I wear a jersey.
right.
the
Stop stereotyping. I also find it rather confusing that Farah is Canadian, but everything she has is themed to be like, Egyptian. It's very bizarre.
Yeah,
I mean,
so the
I
lore-
get like it's like an ancestor thing, but it's like
It's not an
very
ancestor
weird.
thing.
Oh, it's not.
It's like she was born. So there was like there's a piece of lore that came out. I mean, it's Overwatch lore, right? So I mean, you could
take it. Yeah.
I mean, you
It could be retconned tomorrow.
It could be whatever, right? I mean, it's ridiculous. So there was a scene where they were in some sort of cabin or something, and it's Farah as a child, and she was watching a hockey game in Canada in a log cabin with snow outside because definitely not 85 degrees right now in Toronto.
Right.
But,
no, it doesn't get hot in Canada.
Yeah.
The Great White North.
Yeah. So there was that, and then people were questioning, "Oh, she's Canadian." And then they came out with like some sort of piece of lore or whatever, and it was confusing.
Oh, was it one of those shorts that they do? Like those little short animated.
Okay, so Farah lives in Canada.
Okay.
Okay, it was retconned. There was a video about a lot of changes in lore. I don't know where to put this. Half of me is okay with it, but another one is meh. Oh my lord. This is crazy. People are like, how can this be? Farah's Thunderbird skin was based on art motifs of the indigenous people who inhabit the Pacific Northwest coast of North America, more than just unique design. The skin also tied into the hero's
Yeah, I forgot about
multicultural
that
origin.
skin.
Her mother is Egyptian, and her father is from an indigenous culture in the Pacific Northwest coast. So Vancouver.
There it is.
Vancouver.
So Vancouver. Okay, fair enough.
Farah's dad is Canadian.
Didn't you just? Okay,
Dude,
yeah.
it's Farah confirmed half native Canadian.
And the other half.
There was a
Egyptian.
holiday comic for the Christmas event where Farah had dinner with an older man that a dev confirmed on the forums as her father. I vaguely remember hockey being on in the background, snow at the window. All it needed for 100% confirmation was the man apologizing for something while he walks off to his igloo.
Chugging maple syrup.
Oh my god, yeah. So apparently her father is Canadian.
Gotcha.
And she was from Vancouver, which it makes sense. It's like it's there's like a bunch of indigenous like totem pole stuff and different art out there, different West Coast art, and woodland art, and Inuit art out there. That's what her Thunderbird skins are, or Thunderbird skin is based off of.
Gotcha.
So
That makes sense.
And
Interesting.
it literally is. I mean, are you looking at your screen right now?
Yeah.
It's literally this. This is what the lore was. That's it. So this up here. So you can see a very poorly drawn flag of my nation up there. I really appreciate that. It looks like two. That's our flag for sure. 2 red stripes on your side, a white background, then what appears to be the foot of a goose. And then we've got this person was just like, oh, it's I was informed there's a Canadian flag in hockey in the background on the TV, and that isn't a coincidence. Blizzard doesn't just put something like that there for no good reason. And then someone else later confirmed. But, I mean, all this shit's rough. I mean, for the love of God, like Road Dogg could pull his mask off and it's Betty White. And they play it off. I mean, it's the most loose lore dude ever. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I get they have fun with it, but I mean, it's also getting ridiculous. Anyways, moving on. Ni no Kuni 2 is a quick piece of news. It's coming to Switch.
Nice.
So it looks like Ni no Kuni 2 will be coming to Switch on November 11th. Same day as GTA 5 comes to PS5 and Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. And this version will also include all of the DLC. For those who have not played Ni no Kuni, play the first one. For the love of God, it is fantastic. It's also great to play on Switch. A perfect Switch game. Or if you really want, you can find a really, really, really cheap copy for PS4 for those PS5 users out there. But it's a great game.
You can even get it pretty regularly on Switch for a pretty deep sale. I think recently it was on sale for like $15 or $20 or something
totally
like
worth
that.
it, man. It's such a long game too. Like it's crazy. What is the playtime? Let's see. Ni no Kuni playtime, 41 and a half hours.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I have it. I started it and did what I usually do and put it on the back burner, and now I'm going to come back to it and completely forget how to play. It's going to be great. I love it.
Yay.
My favorite.
Awesome. Sweet.
So GTA probably won't launch in 2021. I know that's a giant fucking shocker to everybody listening, especially if you've listened to us where we're like, no,
we just
it's
downplay the shit out of it. I mean, we're the bummers for sure, but everyone's like, oh my God, this is it. This is the year. And we're like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Maybe next year, but probably not until 2023. They're not done milking the absolute shit out of GTA 5 yet.
Yeah.
A little bit longer. So GTA 6 probably isn't going to release this year if Take-Two's statements during a recent shareholder meeting mean what they appear to mean. So Take-Two stating that it plans to release 21 games between now and the end of the fiscal year on March 22nd, which certainly sounds like a lot, but there's a lot of clues that indicate Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't among them. Once you dig into the details, based on what we know about Take-Two's plans, chances of GTA 6 coming this year are very slim. Take-Two stated in the earnings release that only 4 of these games are immersive core releases, which is the category that GTA 6 would certainly belong to. Only 2 of those games will fall into existing franchises, and we already know that a WWE 2K22 and the new NBA 2K are virtually guaranteed to release this year, leaving no room in the cards for GTA 6. Additionally, if a high-profile game like GTA 6 were coming this fiscal year, you would expect Take-Two to reflect that more clearly in its fiscal forecast.
I don't know. I think there's still a shot, at least the very end of 2021, or the very early starts of 2022, which I get that it's the next year technically, but I mean, early on into it. Just because I think this is something that they would keep out of shareholder shit because everybody's going to listen to the shareholder stuff, the shareholder call. I honest to God think they would just say, they classify it under something else or they wouldn't. They keep it a secret.
I'm surprised that if we are that close to a GTA, that hasn't been announced yet, because the typical trend right now is to announce a game years before it even comes out. And even with Red Dead Redemption 2, they announced it. It was only probably 2 years, which isn't too bad, all things considered. I mean, we still don't have Metroid Prime 4, but, one day. But I would think that they would at least start the hype train up a year early.
So, Brody, I have a theory.
Yeah, yes, I'm listening.
I have a theory that the next...
Do I need my tinfoil hat for this?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No.
I'll leave it over here.
Come on, you're not Italian. The UFOs, baby.
Damn it, we lost our one Italian listener.
Damn it. Anyways, I think what they're gonna do is with the success of GTA Online, I think you're just gonna. I mean, I think Grand Theft Auto is just gonna turn into a giant online multi-world game.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the story.
I
of
mean, I
GTA
think
5,
they
though.
will
it
do
was
a
fun.
campaign, but I think they're gonna do like more heists and stuff like that you have to get on with your friends, or you can play through the campaign if you want yourself, or you can play through it with your friends. But I feel like with the amount of money they've made off the online stuff, that they'll just take what they have, they'll plus it, and you'll be able to travel to different places. I think it'll all be online. I do think that like that'll include the South America stuff. I think they will do that, like a Brazil or like stuff like that would be kind of cool. But I think you'll be able to travel around. I really do. I just don't understand why they would keep the two separate, because it's a lot of work, and most people now play GTA Online.
Yeah, but that's also because the game's been out for like 8 years.
Well, no, I know it's morphed.
So,
I mean, it's like a whole other game now, right? But I just don't. I just don't see why they would release something that is just. I mean, I think you'll still be able to just play it alone if you want. Yes, but I think like 99% of the focus will be on how do you just integrate this solely to be multiplayer, and then if you want to go off and do your own thing, yeah, sure, you can do that. All the assets are there, whatever, in this one distinct area, or just for the campaign, whatever. But I think they're going to focus like all of their attention on the basis of making this a better multiplayer experience, and an experience that spans across numerous. I mean, they've already done that with that DLC, right, where you travel to that other island and you can do all your shit with the submarine. You have to get all the things together. I just see them expanding that and making it an easier way to get online with your friends, because it is a little bit cumbersome.
Yeah, I still don't think they'll do that. I think they will have a standalone campaign, because that is kind of their bread and butter. And
do you think just a one player, like a single player campaign?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's value in that. I mean, the game sold
I agree. I would like that.
Well. It sold exceptionally well even before online released.
Yeah.
And then you look at Red Dead Redemption 2, it released as a standard player game or a single player game, and fucking sold exceptionally well. And then they released an online portion, which hasn't done nearly as well.
It's gotten better though.
This is true. But I think there is value in keeping that single player campaign, because there are a lot of people that solely play GTA games for that.
Yeah, no,
they don't play the online. Maybe they tried it and they didn't like it. I mean,
that's me.
We pop into online every great once in a while, and
we go to the casino.
It's kind of fun, but sometimes
we're
it's
stupid.
annoying.
We go to the casino,
you
and we
can't
bet on
make
horses.
Any damn money, right?
And we spin the wheel.
I don't know. I think it would be a big misstep to not include a single player campaign in this, even if it was something online that you could play by yourself, yada yada yada. But
yeah.
I think having that standalone single player component of it is pretty important to that franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're saying, and from like a financial standpoint, it probably would make sense, but I don't know if they will do it.
What if they made it where it was like almost a Fallout feel, where you really didn't, because right now it's like going through two different doors. You know what I mean? GTA Online, completely different experience than playing it, by yourself in terms of what you can do. I mean, you can do a lot more in GTA Online.
And I think they should be split into essentially two different games too. Because it's stupid to have to load into a single player and then go over to online, which granted they've changed that now to where you can go straight to online, but it's still, the load times are insane right now. But I mean, it should be two separate games. I mean, granted, you got Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone, which are in the same game, and something there is all jacked up. But that's a different conversation. But yeah, I think it's, I don't know. I mean, the Mass Effect collection that just released not too long ago has all three games.
Mm-hmm.
It is a centralized hub, but they're all like, I mean, I don't know. I see it both ways. But
Yeah, no, I want the career stuff. I just
Yeah.
have this feeling that they're gonna put a lot of their attention into the
I
side of how do
agree.
you make this blend? Like how do you make this completely at one point, how do you make this blend into the story to the point where you're introducing the individual to the concept of online to get them into it? And I think the only way that you do that is you somehow try to mesh this better than what it is now, which is just basically, oh, I want to go online and click a button
Yeah.
right from the game. That being said, I will buy Grand Theft Auto for my PS5 because I want to play it in 60 frames per second. I want to see how pretty it is.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I mean, the
I don't
graphics are
own
gonna
it
look
on
beautiful.
PlayStation right now, but yeah.
So
I yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said,
I really don't
from a
want it to just
financial and
be
a business
okay.
perspective, it makes so much more sense for them to put way more work into online.
Yeah.
And at the grand scheme of things, most people are playing the online or have played the online and will buy it regardless, even if they
Yeah.
didn't care for the online, because it's still GTA at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be a lot of people that would be disappointed if
Oh,
there
for sure.
wasn't that.
Oh, I
And
completely agree.
I would be disappointed personally. Like I
I would too.
enjoy the online in small spurts and
Well,
stuff, but
I would also be disappointed if the only way that they do campaign is going to be in like episodic things like they have in the past for online DLC, and then
right.
it's like that's how it's just it's a living game that continues on and on and on. And the problem with that is like the online campaign stuff sucks compared to the standard campaign. So
Yeah, some of the heist stuff is kind of cool.
yeah, some
But
of it's
I mean,
cool, but a lot
but
of it's
finding
like
people to do the heist with is a
yeah,
nightmare. You don't want to just be with random people in your play session. Trying to get into someone else's PlayStation or play session, like a friend's play session, is a absolute nightmare. And we spent way too much time loading into a game just for it to tell us that it can't load into the fucking game. There's problems and things I want to see fixed, and especially that load time because it is brutal. It is awful. But I don't know. I am really excited for a GTA 6 whenever that does come about. And but I don't know if I have it in me to dip back into GTA 5.
I want to see it for load times. I want to see it for the updated graphics and get back into it. I think them doing this is the run up before they're about to make an announcement, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you still
And maybe
they
that
did a
announcement was
shareholder
supposed-
call, right? And they're like, "Hey, we're doing all these games." They still have to do a shareholder call next quarter.
Right.
So they don't need to disclose everything in this upcoming fiscal year. They can hold back until an announcement, an embargo. I mean, you can't hold a ton back from shareholders. However, you don't have to publicly disclose, something coming out next quarter.
I think the earliest that we're going to see this game is after the next fiscal year. So you're looking at April.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I
for
would
sure.
think next spring would be the
Well,
earliest
when
we
did
see
the
this, but I don't.
This launched what? I mean, it was years ago, 7, 8 years ago, right? But was it November? Was it the fall?
September
September.
17th, 2013.
Okay. Look here. I do think we will see an announcement around E3 time or Summer Games Fest that Jeff Keighley's doing. Just even teasing, hey, we're working on it. Just something. I do think we're gonna hear something or see something, though. I really do.
Yeah, I would wager that we will not see this game until fall to holiday season 2022.
Okay.
That would be my guess right now.
That's crazy. Not your
Yeah.
point, but that's just
9 years.
and it prints money.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame them for not focusing on that. And there's also rumor going around right now that they're going to make a Red Dead Redemption remake.
I'd love that because I don't think a
absolutely.
lot of people touched the first one. They touched the second one.
I touched it a little bit, and I tried to go back to it, and it's pretty hard to go back to it at this point in time. I mean, it's been a little while since that game came out.
Yeah.
But
Well, I guess that'll kind of do it for the episode. Just a quick wrap up before for people looking for PS5s and for Xbox Series X's and S's. Target made a new rule where they're not doing like drops anymore. They're just like when they're available, and you can only get them online and for pickup. You can't come in store to get the consoles. So that's a kind of a little bit of a thing that's slowly come out over the last little bit over the day.
I should also mention that Xbox is doing a program through, I think it's through the Insiders program, where you can sign up to be essentially on a list, potentially selected on a list to get a new Xbox. So to actually purchase it, because they're trying to get away from all these drops that are just continually being bought up by bots still. So there's that, but worth checking out as well. I don't have all the details on that directly in front of me, though.
Oh my god. There's apparently this just came out too. There's going to be 2 tributes to Jeff Kaplan in an Overwatch 2 map, the New York map. There'll be a coffee cup that says Jeff on it, but it's JEPH, and JEPH for Jeff's Corner Pizza. Interesting.
Nice.
That's kind of cool. I like that. I dig that. Cool. All right. Awesome. Sweet. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much for listening to the audio version of the podcast as well. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Jeff James here, and you can find me on PlayStation, Maple Jeff, at my PSN.
You can find me on Twitter at BrodyFultz, BrodyFultz, and you can find me on PlayStation at Luscious Brody. I'm also on Xbox at Luscious Brody.
Kill it. Also, on top of that, guys, please subscribe to the audio version of the podcast. Check out our YouTube channel as well and subscribe there for some sweet, sweet content. And like I said at the start of the show, every single Thursday, 9:30 Eastern, we go live on YouTube and Twitch. And audio version of the podcast goes up Friday mornings, butt crack of dawn, so you can hear it for your commute. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe out there. Go Leafs. Even though I just found out they lost.
Damn.
Go Leafs. See you guys later.